You're watching an episode of Spirits People Live with Johnny Michelson.
Hey guys, Johnny here. You ever been curious about how people around the world find their way into a passion for fine spirits? This is a series of live recordings from Instagram where I connect with spirits enthusiasts around the world and we share our stories and personal journeys into fine spirits with you guys. Now in this video I'm talking to Tigani. Tigani and I randomly met in a whiskey bar in Singapore a few years back, and we ended up striking a conversation, having a couple of drams, and there you have it. A couple of years later we're reconnecting right here again on Instagram, and we talk about what's happened since then, how the marketplace in Singapore is like, on Bali and Indonesia, but also talking about his personal journey into fine spirits and how he became so passionate about whiskey. So, thanks for watching guys, and I hope you enjoy.
For more videos, check out spiritspeople.com. Subscribe on YouTube and be sure to follow us on Instagram, where we connect you with spirits people worldwide.
All right. Welcome. Happy Spirits Tuesday. So, today's a special day. We'll see if anyone joins here. I know that one person is going to join. So my guest today, who hopefully will join in a second, is quite random. Hello. So my guest today, I randomly met about a year and a half ago in Singapore when I was working over there, and as I was on my own, my wife was still back here in London. I ventured out and visited quite a few whiskey bars to make sure that time passed while I was there on my own. So I met Mr. Tigani at a small whiskey bar, and we struck up a conversation, and we realized that we follow each other on Instagram, and here we are a year and a half later, where he hopefully will join, and we'll have a chat and we'll catch up and see what's happened over there. So he actually lives on Bali, which is to me a little bit of a there he is. Tigani, welcome. We'll add you to the stream in a second. Thanks for joining. So Tigani lives on Bali, which for most of you guys is probably a holiday destination, but that is where he lives. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And he has an amazing Instagram. So I'm going to show you his feed right here. Let me flip the camera. There he is. So this is my guest today. So as you can see, quite a few whiskeys on here. So there's a pretty cool ciphers here from Glenlivet. They posted the Balvinis today. So yeah, a lot of good stuff here. So we'll talk about that, assuming that's the wife in there. So he's posted more pictures of his wife than I have posted of mine, and and there's one in there, so that says a lot. Anyway, so so that's Tigani. We'll have a chat. We'll see where that goes, and because it's Spirits Tuesday, we will also be announcing the winner of this week's free giveaway of the tote bags, which is now in production after quite a few months of waiting for that. And I will be opening one of the few bottles that is a non-bourbon. I'll be popping that in a second while Tigani is on here. So it's one of the few bourbons or a few non-bourbons that I have. So I'll be opening that and have a little tipple. And as you all noticed, it is daytime outside. So this is actually my late lunch break. I do have to go back to work, so I can't be drinking too much. But obviously, since Tigani is in Bali, and it's about 10 p.m. down there, so we couldn't do it too late. So we'll see who joins. But what I'll do right now is I'll make sure that Tigani is actually being added to the stream, and a little bit of a chat. We'll see what happens. Hello, Jeremy. It's early times over there. All right. I've invited Tigani to the stream. We'll see if he can join. All right, it's taking a second. All right, while we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and open this. So, for people who know me, they'll know that I am a bourbon drinker, first and foremost. However, I'll drink pretty much everything that's been crafted and put in the bottle and that has alcohol in it. So today I will be opening this. I know that Tigani, who's going to be joining today, is probably mostly a scotch and single malt drinker and blended. So I'll be having this today. We'll have a chat. I think Tigani has dropped off. We'll try and add him one more time. So yeah, and as I was saying earlier, I do have to go back to work, and it's daytime outside, but it is 10 p.m. On Bali, where Tigani lives. So to make sure that we can accommodate, I've taken a late lunch, and I'll be having this for lunch today. So there we go. We'll see if we can get a cork pop. I'm on Drinks. Welcome, welcome. I believe I'm on Drinks is in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. So we got a few. Oh, there we go. Oh my God. There he is.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, man?
How are you, Johnny?
Yeah, not
How's
too bad.
everything okay?
Yeah, not too bad. Long time no see.
I know, it's been a while, right?
Yeah, a year and a half. I was looking back through your feed for that picture, and yeah, I reposted it earlier. It's like, holy shit, it's a year and a half ago. That's crazy.
I know, right? Time flies.
I know.
Well,
did you see this one?
I'm popping this one for you.
Oh, you got
The same one.
Hibiki as well. Is it the Harmony as well, or is it age dated?
I think this is the Master Select one, the same one as well, but in the new box.
Oh wow! All right, there we go. This is uncoordinated, so this is amazing. So here we go. Yeah.
Oh, this is the Master Select one.
Yeah, yeah. I got the regular one. You had to up me one.
Of course.
All right, cool.
So how are you?
I'm good. I'll be pouring a little bit of this. Popping this back in.
Well,
Oh, look at that. Amazing. Oh yeah, that's good. So I guess it's more appropriate for you to have a drink. It's still only 3 p.m. over here, so this is my lunch.
I know. It's 10 o'clock here.
I know, it's perfect. Cool.
Oh, there's a few of my friends actually watching this as well.
That's awesome. Cool. I'm glad we can, so for any viewers now, and obviously people watch this on replay, so this is normally happening quite a lot later. So this is the first time we're doing a session with someone over in the East. So you're currently based in on Bali, right?
Yes, Indonesia.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think most people would be interested in hearing what's it like to live on Bali, because I think most people will consider Bali a holiday destination, but obviously
well, it is. It is a holiday place.
Yeah.
But for us, I think as a local, we don't really go to a tourist place.
Right.
I mean, tourist destination, but you know, we go to the same place all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's still cool. It's good. Beach area. Yeah.
Awesome. Nice,
Ah,
nice
okay.
weather, lovely beaches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
well,
beautiful.
maybe cheers first.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Awesome. I've not had this
How did you
for a
find it?
long time.
How did you find it?
Oh yeah, it's great. I've had it before, but I've had this bottle actually sitting in my cabinet for a long time. My wife, it was a gift from my wife.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the only Japanese whiskey I have. I have one other Asian whiskey, which is a Kabalan, soloist,
Very nice.
bourbon cast, and then I have one Irish whiskey, and then I have a shit ton of bourbon.
I think you have a good bourbon collection. I saw on your post in Instagram. I mean, a lot of bourbon that I should try, like the Weller's, the Jaws Tea Stag, and the Sazerac that you always make for an old fashioned every week when you live, right?
I know.
I thought you were gonna drink some old fashioned today.
Oh yeah, nice. So I normally make mine with rye whiskey, but yeah, I'll make it with been making it with rum actually lately.
Oh,
that's pretty good.
With that simple syrup.
Yeah. So I bought this Colombian rum, which is really nice. Like no added sugar. It's a blend of 12 and 21-year-old rums from Colombia. It's really.
What's it called?
How do you pronounce that? Let's see. Right here. So it's this one, La Hechicera, whatever. So this is the bottle. It's the one I posted on my third account the other day. It has a nice big kind of blue wax seal on it. So yeah, it's so good that I bought 3 bottles of it.
Wow. How much does it cost there?
This was
is that expensive?
This was on clearance here in the UK, and I paid £30 for it. It's normally about 50.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good.
That's the good things. I mean, if you live in UK, you have a good selection that you can buy many different kind of whiskey or rum or whatever, right?
Yeah. And this brings me to a good point. So I wanted to ask you, because obviously here buying scotch is easy because Scotland is like, it's right up there. But for you, especially on Bali or in general in Indonesia, like what's the whiskey market like, and what kind of community do you guys have? Like, do you meet up with people like locally, or do you have like groups and stuff online? Like how does it work?
So I have this community called the Indonesian Whiskey Research Society, but most of them, they live in Jakarta, in the capital.
Okay.
So they have easier access to get some whiskey. I mean, compare us in Bali, it's very hard to get whiskey, and you know the tax is so high, and that's why the price is so crazy, so expensive. Like for example, you know, Macallan 12 these days will cost $100 US. So, I mean, that's very expensive, right?
Yeah,
you can get it for $40 or $50 in Costco in America.
Yeah.
And like you, if you live in UK, you can go to whiskey exchange or, for example.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, the market here is, I mean, not many whiskey drinkers here.
Okay.
And then the market is not many, the price is so high. So people usually, they bring from overseas. Like most of my bottles, I get it from duty free.
Okay.
And then from my friends that actually, like if they going out from overseas, they brought me some. But then through this Instagram, I met a lot of people from other countries, Singapore, Australia, you know, you make friends and then you have the channel to get the bottles.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I do actually.
Cool.
Been doing this for 2-3 years now. But I have not a lot, but I think about 100 bottles, I think. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
100 bottles.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been collecting some, saving some, drinking some.
Yeah.
And yeah, but the people in Jakarta, I mean, they have, like I say, they have easier access.
Yeah.
They can have more bottles. I mean, compared to the countryside like Bali. Yeah. But in the bar, you can have a good selection of whiskey, but yeah, it's very expensive for a shot.
Yeah.
So, but pretty much, so, you know, duty-free bottles or just the basic red labels, black label here in Indonesia. Not many, but maybe like Glenfiddich 12 years old. Yeah. Glenlivet, just the normal one, Macallan.
Yeah. So how do you compare? So you and I, we met once, and as I was explaining when I just started the live session, that randomly we met about a year and a half ago in Singapore. So in terms of Singapore, I think there's quite a few really good whiskey bars there. Like, how would you compare like the selection and the prices to both Bali and Jakarta to Singapore? Like, are they comparable, or is it like completely different?
No, not comparable. Far away. I mean, yeah, you can't compare that. So that's why a lot of Indonesian, they go to Singapore. They drink in the whiskey bar, and then they bring the bottle from the duty free. The Singapore airport, they really have a good collection as well, right?
Oh yes.
So yeah. So I think that's the only source for Indonesian like me and my other friends, pretty much. Yeah, and the rest, like, they make friends with other people from other countries as well. Yeah. So, like, I just came back from Singapore a few days ago.
Okay.
And then brought some bottles there, and then that's the only way you can buy some good bottles.
Cool. How often?
That cost me a lot.
How often do you go to other places like Singapore or Jakarta to hang out and meet with people? Is it like, it's quite easy for you, or is it like only
Jakarta, yes, it's close, but recently I don't have much time because I work here, so I don't really go to Jakarta a lot. I mean, currently, but just go to Singapore just to get some bottles.
Yeah.
To it. We'll go to Australia in December, but I already have my bottles there. I mean, a few of my bottles, so I just keep. I paid already, and then I just bring it back.
Oh, you're a pro.
But that's the only way to get a bottle, to keep updated with the market. Yeah. And the thing is about, become whiskey enthusiast. Every new bottles you really want to try and you want to keep it, right?
Yeah.
And like until right now, I think these days more into collecting. Doing the hunt is very excited.
Yeah, it's cool when new stuff comes out. I have the same. So I have a few friends in New York, and they hold bottles for me until I go there. So it's the same thing, right? But it all depends on where your stuff is from. I know that if you want to get bourbon in Australia, there's quite a few people I know there who says that it's pretty expensive, but then like they go the other way around, so they'll go like over onto the west coast of the US, and they'll have connections over there through Sydney, and then like pass through the Perth.
Oh, by the way, next month we're doing our first Indonesian whiskey live ever in Jakarta.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, so a few of my friends, the founder of the group, the community, we make that. I mean, so it's gonna happen next month. I'm really excited, looking forward for it. Yeah.
That's
so I don't have to. It's the same time as a whiskey live in Singapore, the 3rd November.
All right.
Yeah.
So are you going to have a lot of distilleries represented in Jakarta as well?
Yeah. I think so. I mean, like, for example, if you invite the the Edrington ambassador, they can have a few, like Holland Park, Macallan, and then like Brown-Forman, they can bring Jack Daniels and other stuff as well, Glendronach. So from one, what do you call that? Not importer. The principal,
right?
They invite the principal, and then they work with the importer. So that's the problem in Indonesia, because not many people drink whiskey, so they're not gonna sell it here, and the tax is so high, it's so expensive. Right. So it's really hard to meet people like actually drink whiskey and know about whiskey. They will drink it and they will mix it with soda and cook. That's happens all the time, which is a bit embarrassing. For a good whiskey, like single malt whiskey, then drink it with Coke, it's a bit, it's a bad thing. So.
Well, I don't think that's unique to your region. I've seen people have pappies with Coke over here, so it's no different.
No way. No, but then the culture is different. I mean, you guys can have Jack D and Coke, right? And that's common.
Jack D and Coke, no, absolutely, yeah.
But Pappy and Coke.
Yeah. There's gonna be wankers everywhere,
Yeah, I really want to drink Pappy. I really looking forward to it. Yeah, I haven't got time to. I haven't seen any bottle yet, actually. I mean, in actual. Any stores that I've been, I don't think I've seen Pappy before. Is it really hard to get?
Have you been to the Old Alliance in Singapore? I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think they have a
But
bar.
I didn't. But I didn't see it. Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's gone.
Yeah.
Someone had it with Coke. It's like, oh fuck this.
So this is your work. I mean, your break time actually.
Yes. So this is.
Oh my god.
I had a meeting earlier, so I decided to have lunch during that, so I can have a break in the afternoon. I'm working from home at the moment, and then I have to go to the office.
Okay.
I have clients coming in at 6
I
o'clock.
appreciate doing this actually. I really appreciate it inviting me.
Yeah, of course. No,
Thanks
awesome.
for doing this. Yeah. How's the tote bag become? I mean, it's
the tote
tote
bag
bag.
is coming along. It was sent to print last week, over the weekend. I approved the design and it's in print at the moment. I've added a little detail to it that I'm not going to show anyone until the bag is actually delivered. So you'll see. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I have some T-shirts that I'm designing as well. So yeah,
Wow.
it's exciting. It will all be done.
The question is, I just want to know, how do you end up getting the Indonesian designer? That's very random, I think.
Yes. So I've been trying to find a designer. So, and I haven't really explained this before. So I'll tell the story here. So in terms of like the design and the type of design that I wanted, I've always known that I wanted it to be kind of handcrafted. And like one of my colleagues is actually she does calligraphy, and we talked about like doing the style and stuff like that. So after that, I started looking on Instagram, and just randomly came across this guy Echo, who runs Cooler Panic on Instagram.
Okay.
And I just really liked his style. So the fact that he was in Jakarta was pretty random. But yes, we started talking on Instagram, and we started collaborating on it. So I have a small monogram coming out as well. So that'll be added to all products moving forward. But it's the way it's going to work is that there's going to be multiple designers. So there will be collaborations between other designers as well for future products. So that's the way. So he's Echo is really the first designer that I'm working with, and he just happens to be in Jakarta. So, so yeah, the first call I had with him, he was sitting on the back of a scooter. Typical Jakarta style.
Yeah. Have you been to Jakarta?
What's that?
Have you been to Jakarta? Have you been to Jakarta?
No, I have not been. No.
Okay, one day. Yeah.
One day. Speaking of tote bags, so. You know how we do Spirits Tuesday, so we're gonna have to pick a winner. And
sure.
You get to help me out. So I need to. My computer here is like.
That's nice.
Just went down. I need to reboot this. Give me 1 second. So I don't know. Have you seen the previous? So I changed the format. I don't know if you've seen the previous videos I did last week.
Which one is it? The Spirits Tuesday that you can post every day? Any days?
Yes. So.
Okay.
All right. So I'll just split the camera and then I'll talk through how it's going to work.
Sure.
So basically, I have. Let's see here. See if I can get it in frame. So here we have several tabs at the bottom here. So here's all the people that we're gonna run through for a tote bag. Yeah. And then every week we also put someone from the people who won a tote bag into this list over here. All right. For potentially winning a T-shirt. So there's kind of like 3 steps, and then we have the winners of T-shirts over here. There's only 2 people so far, and for each time they post Spirits Tuesday, they get a row. So some people, including yourself, will have multiple rows. You sit over here. I'll see if I can find you. Where are you? Oh, there you are. So you can see you've done 6 posts. All right, awesome. Thank you for that. So what I need you to do is I need to help me pick a number. So I'll just see here. So the first number is number 2. The last number is number 41. And then the way I'll randomize is I'll keep hitting the button over here, and this over here will randomize. So I'll start by putting this, and then I'll ask you to give me a number between 2 and 41.
So,
both numbers in
all right, I'll choose 18.
18. All right, cool. So let's randomize. Boom. All right.
Is that?
There we go. The winner is the Bourbon Bard. Awesome.
Oh,
Cool. I've seen him doing one of those flips. You know the bottle flips that they do on. I think a few people have done those. I don't know if you follow this guy called Booker's Bride. They do the.
Yeah. I follow him.
Yeah, where they flip the bottle. I saw the Bourbon Bards who had done one of those. So congratulations to the Bourbon Bards. You are this week's winner of Spirits Tuesday. Boom.
Oh,
that's
and
awesome.
It's funny too as well, right?
Yeah, he's posted.
I saw one of the videos.
He's posted twice.
Okay.
So well done.
Okay.
It's completely random. So like, even though you posted like 10 times, it doesn't mean that you're gonna win, because it is completely random. So here we go. The chart cat.
Yes, congrats.
What's that supposed to mean?
Hello, the Charkas. I've seen his post today. It's very good when he's doing that bottle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He is. He's on here right now. He says that the winner is the punk, but I don't know what to make of that. So.
What is it supposed to mean?
I don't know. We'll let Jeremy explain. But all right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and just mark the Bourbon Bard as this week's winner, and then what we need to do is now I'm gonna move him over. I'll just copy this. And then we need to have someone chosen from the next list into the potential t-shirt list. So I'm gonna all right, the chart cask is pulling back. All right, cool. So,
Hey, can you see there's a few comments like from my Indonesian friends?
All right, what are the thing? Let's see. Some comments. All right, there's quite a lot of people joining here. That's awesome. All right, the last comment I can't read. I'm assuming that's
Indonesian
for you.
yeah. That's my friends there. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, cool.
Okay.
So here's the list. So as you'll notice, we're on the tote winners. So I've moved the Bourbon Bard up here. So what I'll do is I'll remove him from this first list. I'll just delete these. So now he lives over here. And we're gonna sort this again. So Tigani, one more time, between 2 and 48. So any number between 2 and 48, including those two numbers, and we'll move that winner over to the potential t-shirt list. So there we go. It's up to you.
It's 31.
31. All right, let's see. Randomize. All right, Wild About Bourbon, Mr. Dave Wild.
Is that one of your friends?
He is currently at work. So if he's watching, he better be doing it quietly, because he'll be celebrating right now. All right, Dave.
Okay.
Dave, congratulations. You are on the magic list of potential t-shirt winners. We'll move you over later. There's not going to be a t-shirt winner this week because it's only once a month. So we'll be doing that in a couple of weeks. But yeah, that's it for the winning stuff. Making sure I don't forget. Take it there. Boom. Cool, man.
Done? Yeah.
How's your hibiki going down?
It's good. I've been drinking it many times before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just remind me of the same old classic hibiki. Yeah. Very smooth, orange, citrusy.
so easy. They're so easy to drink. I wonder what do you know what the difference is between this and the one you have? Is it just a special blend?
I think the Master Select one is designed for the truffle editions, for the truffle retail editions. So people go duty free they get this one, and then your one is for like the Japanese market.
All right.
So yeah,
cool.
It's how much does it cost in UK for that hibiki?
So the regular Harmony is about £49, I think. So 50 pounds ish, which is like what, 60, 65 US or something like that.
Okay.
So it's not.
You know, back.
Sorry.
So a few years ago, before the Japanese whiskey getting hype, the price is just so cheap. Like that hibiki will be cost you around $30 maximum.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And you know, right? And then the Yamazaki 18, the price is so crazy at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't afford.
I think it's all whiskey. To be honest, there's a global whiskey craze, and I think not just bourbon, like Japanese whiskey, of course, like also global whiskey. Like there's a lot of Australian whiskey coming out, like a lot of the stuff from down south. In Australia, Star Wars and all those kind of things, like really just winning awards and like prices just going up. So yeah, it's an expensive hobby, you know.
Very, very.
Yeah.
And you know the reason I choose that number actually?
The reason you chose 31. All right, let's hear it.
And 18? You know that?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to guess.
Okay. Right, so the first one I choose 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that reflects to the current world best single malt this year, 2018, which is the Glen Grant 18 years old.
All right. Well done.
And last year we have the Craig Lucky, 31 years old. Yes.
All right.
For the world best single malt. So I think that's the idea behind it.
Well, I think you're the first person who has really put some thought into this.
Thank you.
Everyone else just gone completely random. That's really cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Wait. How about this Spirit People? How long you been doing this, and what's the idea behind it?
That's a very good question. So this is actually this session today is session number 11 of Spirits Tuesday. So I've been doing these sessions, and as you know, like over the past couple of weeks, I've changed the way that I do these. So I bring on people from all over the world who has a similar passion for fine spirits. It doesn't have to be whiskey. It could be anything. It could be rum, gin, whatever. Actually, I have a rum guy coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, basically the idea behind it is to really just connect with people all over the world and talk about spirits, talk about like how people get into it, because I think there's similarities, and it really is like one thing that doesn't really change in people's approach no matter where they live. If you're passionate about whiskey, it's something that kind of goes beyond everything else, goes beyond like your borders, your race, your status in life and whatever. It's like people are very passionate about it and can gain that knowledge. So I think it's one of those things that I really just wanted to meet other people and talk about it. So that's pretty much it. How
long has it been happening? How long is it happening for?
So for about 11 weeks, so I guess like 2.5 months.
Wow, that's quite fast. I think I've posted six posts before, right? Already. So for
6 posts, yeah. So you've been with me for about half of that time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh.
It's really good. It's really good fun. So I have my other account, Spirits Cabinet, which is the one I've been running for years, and that's just kind of my private outlet where I just take pictures of bottles. So as part of that, I've met a lot of people on Instagram, online from all over the world, and I decided to start up Spirits People as kind of like to talk about the people behind those feeds. So your feed is also like, that's a bunch of bottles, right? But there's a person behind that. So I think part of just highlighting people and their passion. I think that's what this account is for, more than just the bottles themselves.
Yeah, true. So you're gonna do it this every week, the live, and then bring a guest, international guests or local guests.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so basically, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I decided that I wanted to bring the people in to the account. It's taken me a little while to kind of figure this out. So it's basically just trial and error. But yeah, I think bringing people on live is part of the idea, and I think it holds true to my vision of what this needs to be. So next week, speaking of the chart cask, so next week we'll be talking to the chart cask. So obviously it's gonna be quite late for you. It's gonna be about 10 p.m. my time, so it'll be very, very early your time.
Early morning, yeah. Where's Charles live?
He's on the East Coast. I think he lives in DC. So I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure. And then the week after, I'll be talking to Stephen James, who runs Rum Diaries account. So he's a rum guy. Yeah, just moving forward, just talking to different people with different passions, and yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna finish this, and then I'll let you go, and I have to go. Unfortunately, I have to go back to work. I know it's it's evening time over there, but this is my lunch break.
Thanks for doing this anyway. Yeah, nice to meet you after a while.
Yeah, no, it was good to catch up.
Appreciate it.
I'm sure we'll catch up outside the live session as well. I want to kind of hear what you're up to and stuff like that. But yeah, it's great to have you on. I think it's good to have people from different parts of the world talk about fine spirits. It's good for everyone to kind of see what's available, how it works, like what kind of community you guys have over there. Thanks a lot for having me out.
Thank you. No worries.
And picking the way. Yeah,
enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace out, man.
Cheers.
All right. He's knocking it back. All right. So I'll close this out. That was Tigani. If you want to follow the guy, he has an excellent feed of whiskey. He lives on Bali. And obviously, it's a very different community over there than it is here in the UK for Scotch and stuff like that. Prices are a little bit higher. There's not as many people involved in Scotch over there. However, as he was saying in this interview, he and his friends from the Jakarta or Indonesian Whisky Society is now setting up a Whisky Live in Jakarta, which is awesome. So if you're on that part of the world, you should definitely check that out and follow Mr. Tigani on Instagram. He does some awesome stuff. So yeah, I think that's it for this week. As I said, next week, the chart cask will be on. So if you don't follow that guy either, you should definitely do that. He will bring you some nerve-wracking photos of balancing whiskeys. So check him out, and yeah, join me next week for that stuff. And congratulations to this week's winners of Spirits Tuesday, and I'll be reaching out to you guys separately. All right, peace. Cheers, guys.
Thank you for watching this episode of Spirits People Live. For more videos, check out spiritspeople.com, subscribe on YouTube, and be sure to follow us on Instagram, where we connect you with spirits people worldwide.